question is, dog, like, what can we take away from the platform as women? Like,
That's what you can take from the platform as women. For all the people that have taught this thing wrong, King David was a murderer and he was an adulterer. This scripture not only told, because you got so many people that talk about even though polygyny was recorded, it was not endorsed. Well, look at this. And God himself has multiple brides. Stop it. Let's go there. And so right here, I gave you your master's house and his wives. In other words, once that master was out of there, King David didn't only get the kingdom, but he got the wives. So that means he had polygyny. Okay? Was he a horrible man? Was he an evil man? Did God cast him down to earth? Did God cast him down to hell? No, he gave him his wives. You talking about it wasn't endorsed. You got people talking about it wasn't endorsed. And it says, and the kingdoms of Israel and Judah. Those were the Lord's wives, Israel and Judah. Let alone the Gentiles. And if that had not been enough, I would have given you much, much more. But I can hear the Lord saying, but you just had to have another man's wife. That's wicked. When you already had wives. You just had to have another man's. And then when you did this thing openly, you did this thing secretly. You tried to keep it secret by now adding murder to the adultery that you committed. Because as a man, to take another man's wife, not just other women, period, or random women, you have to specifically take another man's wife as a man to be considered an adulterer. We ain't gonna break down fornication. We one day we're gonna do all that. Fornication, adultery, we're gonna break down all that. But right now it's about just being a fall. So this is what you take from the platform. That men set the rules of engagement. You're waiting on us to marry you, not the other way around. Because if it was the other way around, you would drop to your knees and ask us to marry you, which you can't do. But we set the rules of engagement. Not only boundaries to protect the relationship, but to protect you and us so that there's no foolishness entailed. Okay? Anything else? While you're trying to tell us to just be a father and just do a whole lot of other things that you don't have the right to do because you're not our God? Should I show you the model again of the order of marriage? Because if that's what you really want, true godly marriage, there's an order. When y'all like to interject, it's not a problem. It's cool. We love you. We'd love you to interject because your own opinion only matters to the man that you're involved with or your father. But when you guys just try to make the devil omnipresent by just posting random stuff on the internet like this, you don't know what you're talking about, and maybe you just need to mind your business and pick the man. Since you want Disneyland classic monogamy, you want a fairy tale, just pick that man. And men, be honest about your intentions so they can't come back and say you tried to pull some shenanigans after you claim monogamy. And so, baby girl, I know, but you got to understand, it's not about just being a father. It's about God and Christ, Christ and man, man over woman and woman over children.
we just want to know, like, every time we turn around, we fuck ups. We ain't got no daddies. We ain't did this right. We toxic. We fucked up a man. He put his seed in the wrong woman. We done fucked some up.
Baby girl, don't be like that. If you ain't sugar honey iced tea, just say that. Anybody remember this situation with this lady in pink who was at the at-home store disrespecting the dark-skinned girl back there behind the counter? Kept calling out her name, kept doing all that disrespectful stuff in front of her own daughter, basically putting her daughter in the position that a man would be in, where he have to quote-unquote protect a bride who doesn't yield herself to protection. I'm not going to put the fight up here, but we remember the results of this, right? And then you take it to the music industry and the entertainment industry, where you all like to live vicariously through silly broads like this, and Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, or Megan the Man Horse. And then you see stuff like this all over the internet. all over the airwaves. You make the enemy omnipresent, trying your best to get that dopamine hit of attention. Which is why I say all you have to do is check the inbox of these scallywag broads, and you'll find out that they're never truly single. Mess around and get one of these broads pregnant and lose all control.
What do we do right?
I don't know. The main thing you all seem to want to do is aggravate and agitate men. You seem to be the experts in telling men what to do when you don't seem to have it all together in what the woman needs to do.
Like, it seems like we don't do shit right.
Maybe it's the men you hang out with. Maybe it's the men you hang out with. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Like, damn. It gotta be something good about us. Besides what's between our legs.
The game is easy when you got a big ass, Dick. I can promise you that.
But it don't be seeming like it. Niggas come away feeling uplifted. We come away pissed off. Like, that was some bullshit. It's the audacity.
Well, I'm going to tell you, little sis, it starts somewhere around here. The Most High gave us a heck of a warning. When he said, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy. That's spiritual or naturally. And in pain, you will give birth. And you will desire to control. Now, desire is a strong word. Desire is a strong word. You will desire to control. And this is why y'all try to deflect words like narcissism on us, because it's really your dynamic. It's really in your DNA naturally. Not saying a man can't ever be a narcissist, but if he's going to be a narcissist, it's going to go back to the teaching that I talked about toxicity and ignorance. Y'all claim that there's a such thing as a Mother Earth to go with the Most High God, right? On Earth, there's a husband and a wife. On the higher level, there's God and Mother Earth, right? So then you know that everything planted in earth, it has to first of all be sowed in earth. When it's sowed there, it takes root, it buds through the soil, and now it feeds the world. So through that umbilical cord and through the teat of that mother, that breast of that mother, that breast milk, which is also referenced as knowledge, you literally give the children of men what they need to survive. You literally give them the influence to go forth. Take the absence of the man from that equation and all they have is you. So then, therefore, toxicity comes from you, which is where that control word comes into play. Because one of the greatest ways you can control a man is by making sure you use modern day Babylon's court system to get him out of the house so that you can somehow control his seed. But God said a prophetic word when he said he will rule over you nonetheless. So that's why we come away feeling uplifted. Because ignorance is a battle of a man. He is husbandman. He is the sower. And every parable that is the seed in the sower, the man is the sower. You are where he sows. So these men have taken your field. They've trusted you with their seed. And the second you got a child up in you, it's all yours. And it's my body, my choice. And I'm going to tell this man what to do. Just be a father. You can't tell a man to just be a father till you get your crap together. And then even then you can't tell her to just be a father because you're too locked in on focusing on what God said about you. And the desire and the issue within you to always try to control your man like he's a little child. And you're either going to act like big mama or little sister, nagging and irritating big brother. And that was never the will of God. And it's the easiest recipe for you to lose a man. Keep on treating him like a child. Keep on acting like he's on your level. Keep on pretending and thinking that because you get to and attain some degrees and accolades and all that, that stuff don't mean nothing. I don't care how much money you got, nothing. It will never mean anything. And that's why y'all can't come away feeling uplifted. Because y'all keep on trying to compare that foolishness to the beauty of a man. So much so you worried about him and what he has to do in his steps and what it takes to be a man. And you're not an expert at that. So stop telling us how to be men. Because the second you stop telling us how to be men and you focus on how to be a woman, then you'll come away feeling beautiful and uplifted. Not just uplifted, but you'll come away feeling beauty. Because there's a beauty in being feminine. There's a beauty in being a woman. And there's an ugly evilness in trying to tell a man, just be a fall. You have no right. No right whatsoever. But what you do need to deal with is your toxicity. Because toxicity or even goodness runs through the umbilical cord, runs through the breast. And y'all feeding the world this foolishness. Meanwhile, if the man would just understand that when he study and master his woman, he'll understand she can only be several different soils. If you're truly concerned that we F-ups and we had a man put his seed in the wrong woman and all this other stuff, you're really worried about that, it's in the word just like everything else. And so this is why I say the battle of a man is ignorance. Because he's always the sower. He's always the one who puts rod in you and sows semen in you. But what ground are you that he's putting seed in? Because the scriptures say, some fell by the wayside and the fowls of the air came and devoured them. Because they're scattered. There's no real root. Some fell on stony ground where it had not much earth and immediately it sprang up because it had no depth of earth. In other words, no place to take root. But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. You got men's children out here in your possession withering away, but you think they've done something because they got a degree or they got a high school diploma. I'm a good mother. No, you broke up a house. So yeah, he did plant it to the wrong soil. Some fell among the thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked. Choked out the children so they couldn't even yield any fruit. So who cares that you got diplomas and all this stuff? What have you done with it? Some of y'all are so quick to brag about your accolades, but Paul said it's like boo-boo. He said his accolades are like dung, boo-boo. So surely ours are as filthy rags as well, when we're humble about it. But we'll try to wave these things in a man's face and try to compete, but he's coming away feeling uplifted because he's at work somewhere. He ain't thinking about you. You have to make him think about you, shaking your body, shaking your booty, getting, all this little silly stuff you do, wearing the war paint, trying to bamboozle somebody. Then, of course, if you do get his children and you're not a righteous woman, now he's connected to you and stuck to you, and you're influencing his children and not giving him any right to influence his children, but tell him, just be a father. How can he be? You stripped them of manhood so that you can control them like God prophesied you would try to do. And then it says, and the fourth ground, the other fell on good ground and did yield fruit that sprang up and increased and brought forth some 30 and some 60 fold and more. See, this is how you come away feeling uplifted. In my closing, as I land my plane, this is how you come away feeling uplifted. When we understand that you have no right to tell us, just be a father. You need to be focusing on just being a mother, just being a good woman altogether. You need to be focusing on drinking your water and minding your business. So refreshing, because we know real men drink water. You know why? Because our ladies need us to be King Kong in the bed. You don't drink your water, you definitely will not be using your third leg. I'm out, daddy.
Goodbye, Grace.
I'm up out of here. I ain't gonna play with her. I'm out, baby. Hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell.